That's what to tell you, Officer Brown. I mean, you're taking money out of my kids' mouths.
Sorry.
You're taking food out of my kids' mouths.
Like I said, we believe right now that this is drug proceeds as illicit currency.
Well, I'm going to prove to you that it's not.
Perfect.
Welcome back to San Joaquin Audits, where we look at police interactions and deal with police accountability. On February 19, 2021, Stephen Lara, who's a retired Marine veteran, was making a trip to visit his children in Portola, California. Stephen is from Lubbock, Texas, which is about a 21-hour drive from Texas to Portola. While driving through Reno, he stopped by an officer for absolutely nothing at all. This is a clear example of piracy committed by the Reno Highway Patrol and the DEA. Watching the video as the police take this man's money away from him and his family.
The driver of this vehicle was following that red and blue semi-truck too closely, less than a second following distance. Also driving under the speed limit, which is extremely odd. Stop him up here in Mustang or a little bit safer, quieter to talk to him. Make sure everything's okay.
I'm doing great. Hey, the reason I'm stopping you, we have a special enforcement campaign going on. We're trying to educate drivers about violations they may not realize they're committing, but we're seeing a big increase in crashes out here. First, applaud you on your driving. You drive great. You're driving really slow. It appears that you're trying to drive safely under the speed limit. I appreciate that. I just want to talk about your following distance, especially around commercial vehicles.
This highway patrolman uses the officer-friendly tactic to get this guy to get out of his car and start answering questions. What's about to happen next will change his perspective on policing forever.
You a fighter?
Am I a fighter?
Yeah, you got a tap-out shirt on.
Well, I've got a lot of training. I'm a retired Marine.
What do your daughters do, man? Ever been in trouble with law enforcement before? When did you leave? When did you leave? What part of Texas are you thinking of buying a house in? What were you doing for work up there? Hey, while I'm working on this, let me ask you something, man. This is going to sound kind of weird. Part of my job out here is I do what's called highway interdiction. I look for people that are smuggling contraband through our state, across the country. Weapons, humans, drugs, illicit currency, things like that. Anything in the vehicle I should be aware of? Okay. No firearms? No explosives? Okay. Are there any drugs in the vehicle? Cocaine?
I don't do drugs.
Yeah, I gotta ask all these silly questions, right? Okay. Any large amounts of United States currency in the vehicle? Okay. What's a large amount of U.S. currency to you? Okay. So there's over 10,000 in there? Okay. How much money you got in there? Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Would you give me permission to search your vehicle today? That's okay with you? Okay, perfect.
This is where everything goes downhill. Stephen seems like an outstanding citizen who really has nothing to hide and he just doesn't trust banks. The officer manipulated Stephen into a search by being friendly and agreeable. Let's just call it like it is, people. This is clear manipulation. If you watch my channel often, you'll know that we always say, don't answer questions and don't consent to searches and seizures. It's not to be disrespectful, trust me. I'm not an attorney, but I know an attorney would tell you the same exact thing. These cops are not your friends, people. It's best to stay silent and do not consent to searches.
I didn't want to come across as being non-cooperative or combative, so I did what I felt was right, and I was very honest, very forthcoming. I was also very respectful, and I just wanted to make their job as easy as possible so that I could be on my way to spend time with my children.
But hey, can you head out to a traffic stop? Are you busy on that other stuff now today? Big bundle of money says probably at least 100,000.
Whenever state police seize cars, cash, and other property such as houses and things of that sort, they hand it over to the federal law enforcement. The federal law enforcement then handles all the work, and then they give up to 80% back to the State Department that made the seizure in the first place. They try to get the DEA involved because once they are involved, they run the forfeiture through federal law. They do this knowing the state's limits on civil forfeiture.
I think you're a good guy.
I'm a good guy.
So how much cash is that?
About 100 grand.
100 grand. Okay. So, as you know, right, I'm a vet, he's a vet, you're a vet. It's not illegal to carry currency and have currency.
Sure, it's not.
It does, though, make us ask some questions on why someone has 100,000. I understand why you don't trust banks.
I have nothing to hide from you.
I appreciate that. Give me a few seconds. Can I make a couple phone calls, right?
Yeah.
Are you on your way out here? Oh. Okay. I'm waiting to hear back from Shane to see if he comes out here. This is it's a strange one, but not a strange one. consented to a search, said there was money up there. We located what he says is $100,000. It's in a Ziploc sandwich baggie. There's also, I haven't gone into it a bunch, I'm waiting to get back to Shane, but there's a bunch of bank receipts and stuff in there as well to show the currency. This might be Shane, hold on 1 second. This is Shane, let me call you back.
No issues, it's too easy to do an adoption. You know, we contacted you, so I think everything's going to be okay. And I'll text you the money count after we get it. It'll probably be a couple hours. So why the distrust for the banking system?
I just don't trust them.
Yeah.
That's just my reasoning. It's my personal thing.
Oh, I'm not trying to convince you one way or the other. It's just it's not usual. What are your thoughts, Chris?
I kind of leaning more towards it's odd, but
it's not packaged like normal.
No, and he's answering the questions. There's receipts here, and
I would like to put the dog on the currency, man.
Okay.
So what they do right here is they get the dog to see if there's any trace of narcotics on the bills. The only thing is about 67% of bills test positive for the trace of narcotics. A dog smelling narcotics on your money is not and should not be enough probable cause to seize or connect someone to a crime.
Positive alert. Huh?
We'll go forward with it.
Okay.
What we're going to do, I believe there's drug proceeds, dog alerted to it.
Drug proceeds?
Yeah, it's very common, sir. We get people that are trafficking large quantities of marijuana from Northern California to all states east, even from Reno.
Sir, I can tell you right now,
I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen, okay? We're going to seize it today, but that doesn't mean we're the final judgment on it. It's going to go through the DEA, okay? So the DEA will contact you, and the DEA will provide you with a means to fight it. You're going to have to provide your pay stubs. You're going to have to provide your other receipts and stuff like that, okay?
Just want to let you know, I know you're just doing your job. That money I worked really hard for. Money that I have in my jacket is only $3. I have money to pay for my kids, my bills, my hotel. We're going to take that car back to Texas. So, I know you're just doing your job. Stuck here unless somebody sends me some money. No way I'm providing for my children this money. Get back to Texas.
Stephen was given back nothing but a receipt and a number to call for the DEA. Stephen wouldn't see his money for another 6 months until he finally filed a lawsuit. Stephen got his money back, but his case doesn't stop there. He's suing the Nevada Highway Patrol in state court. He wants to make sure things like this don't happen to other people. I want to take this time to thank the Institute for Justice for not only helping Stephen on his case, but bringing this to the people's attention. Be sure to go over and subscribe to their channel.